Well, without further ado, we've got a young man who's just jacked up, ready to go. You know, he's known as Mr. Backbone and Posture. And I just can't wait to hear what he's going to talk about today on this part of this series of what he's going to do. So without further ado, let's get him on here, give him his proper time. Without further ado, from Dallas, Texas, the one, the only, Mr. Sam Foster.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas, for that warm introduction. We missed you this week. Also, thank you, Mr. Clemens, for being behind the scenes as always, putting everything together. Really appreciate you. I'm gonna go ahead and dive into the information because I got I always say a long way to go in a short time to get there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. If you guys have ever been in the medical industry, and I think we have a few on there that on here that has. I know Catherine Williams and a couple other people been in the medical field, and oftentimes if you're bleeding or if you're in a situation where you've gotten cut or injured, oftentimes they tell you put a gauze on the area, and that stops the bleeding. But many times they'll tell you, especially if you're out in the wilderness or in the woods or you're camping or whatever it may be, they'll also tell you to press on it. And oftentimes if you press on it, that helps to stop the bleeding as well. And I know some of you are saying, where is he going with this? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going somewhere with this. All right, so if you're taking notes, the title of this is Apply Pressure. That's right. Apply pressure. If you're taking notes, apply pressure. Right. And I went back and forth with this, and the concept is oftentimes we often talk about in the industry and what we do. Sometimes it can be hard, it can be tough, things of that nature. And oftentimes we see ourselves as victims a lot of times. We're going out, we're peaking and things of that nature. But I want you guys today to see yourself as victorious, not victims, but victorious. And I know we have people on the call from all over the globe. I know Kinko's on here, Louisa Payon is on here. I know you guys are calling in from Japan. I thank you for being global and getting on this call, but it applies to you guys as well. Apply pressure. Apply pressure. Okay. And last week, many of us were cut as speakers, of course, for OKC travel and things of that nature. And we understand. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to condense a last week message with this week message, right? Because you guys know that I already had the first message in there. Then it was supposed to be people, places, and power. I got to the people. Now I'm going from places to power. Places to power. Okay? Follow me here. I'm going somewhere. Okay. First of all, I want to say the road to OKC. Many of us who have went to OKC, it was a wonderful, monumental event. I must say so myself. I got a chance to meet a bunch of people that I was only seeing in technology. I saw several people. I want to leave anybody out. We went out after the first day's event, and it was just powerful. But I want to talk about places first, okay? And when I talk about places, we had a strange encounter because we actually drove, me and one of my downlines. We drove from Dallas to OKC. And by the way, the merge event is on in Dallas, April the 23rd. Get registered, have your face in the place if you're anywhere in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Shameless plug. Okay, getting back to my topic of conversation. Me and my downline, we were driving. And to show you guys, when it comes to places, you never know where you're going to get your epiphany. You never know when you're going to get your enlightenment. You never know where it's going to come from. Now, let me set the stage for you guys. Me and my downline, we had a little trouble getting there. We went from, and I know he's on the call, so I don't want to say any names, but we had a little car trouble, he had to get his car from the shop. So he came to pick me up first. And then we went to the car dealership so he can get his car from the shop. So kind of set us back a little bit, but I'm going somewhere. It was a good thing. Then we went from the shop, we got on the road. And as we were getting on the road, a lot of things started happening, traffic, construction, all of those things. But how many people know you have to continue to press on? You have to apply the pressure, apply the pressure. Now, little did we know that gave us an opportunity to actually dialogue with each other, strategize, things of that nature. So if you're traveling, you know, you have some time in a car, if you're traveling in a car. So we were able to brainstorm all the above. It was really, really positive. Okay, so we're on the road and one of our downlines makes a comment. And ladies and gentlemen, the comment was actually powerful. All right. He said he was picking an individual, and he said, he made a statement. He said, what kind of lifestyle have you talked yourself out of? I want you guys to think about it for a second. And when he made the statement, he didn't even realize he had made it because he was just talking. And I said, what did you say? And then he said, yeah, I told him, what kind of lifestyle you talked yourself out of, man? And that's powerful. I want you guys to really think about what I just said. He peaked the guy, he made the statement, what kind of lifestyle have you talked yourself out of? Now, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to write that down. I want you to write that down because I want you to think about that. Anytime you feel frustrated, anytime you feel undervalued, anytime you feel like things are not working, it don't have to be in ACN, it can be anywhere. You want to ask yourself, what kind of lifestyle are you talking yourself out of, especially when it comes to ACN? Well, why do you say that, Sam? Because anybody that went to that OKC event, you guys know that we're rolling out new stuff as we speak. We're going into the healthcare field. We already have this new app coming that's going to be able to dictate the values that we get, not only matching dollar for dollar, but we can navigate it towards our zip code, not just the geographical area that you're roundabout in, but specifically targeted to your zip code. Now, I'm not going to go too far into it and things of that nature, but trust me, if you did not go to the OKC event, you missed a wealth of jewels. And the founders will be talking about it later, so you guys will get a heads up on it. Not only that, but we finally get to the OKC event. We got there a little late, kind of irritated a little bit humanly. We like, oh, we got here a little late. And I started looking around and I said, well, we're here a little late. We don't even put our bags down, ladies and gentlemen. I'm getting ready to show you how you should apply pressure. We go to Walmart. We getting ready to go to Walmart, get some cleaning supplies for the hotel, you know, because we want to keep things hygienically, safe because of the situation that's happened the last couple of years. We want to be doubly safe in any hotel. Hotel was neat, it was fine, but we wanted to get some Lysol and things of that nature. So we get to the hotel, we get to Walmart, one of my favorite places. We get to Walmart. I saw this officer sitting at the door, police officer, Oklahoma City officer. We go in, we get our supplies, we get all our things we need for the room. We get ready to walk out, and it hit me. So I need to peek this guy. Now, how many people, by show of hands, be honest, how many people would have said, oh, that's a police officer. I don't know about him. I'm in the area. I don't know if I need to do this. It's going to be a little shaky for me. That's a no. But I had in my mind, ladies and gentlemen, apply pressure. What that meant for me was I was going to make sure that I didn't have any excuses. I don't care if I was in a new area that I had never been in before. I don't care if it was a police officer. Everything that we do in ACN is legit, so it does not matter. So tools of the trade. I went in my pocket, gave him one of my business cards. I didn't even get out of the Walmart, and I looked back and I saw this officer on his phone looking up my website. Apply pressure. Apply pressure. Everybody's back outside now, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to apply pressure. I'm going somewhere with this. Okay, now I'm on places. Remind you guys, I'm on places. All right. By me being on places, I start saying to myself, I have to continue to reinvent myself. So go to Oklahoma City, make sure I expose myself everywhere I go. There's a hint for somebody everywhere you go. We went to after hour spot. It was a nice little area. It was kind of outside, inside. Saw several people there, Jocelyn Drissel, Marie Belena. I mean, just several people. I don't want to name too many, I'll miss them. Jabri Clemens, everybody came by. Uh, Byron Nelson, you name it. They were either inside or outside the venue, but it was just a crowd of people. I started peaking. I got the waiters, the waitresses, you name it. I'm talking to them. I'm getting names and numbers. I'm doing it. Remind yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, I'm in a new area. I've never been to Oklahoma City before. I I didn't know, but what? I applied pressure. I want you guys to keep that in your mind. Apply pressure. In other words, you have to initiate sometimes. You have to be that push that you're looking for. And you have to say to yourself, fear of loss. Let me put this in the back of my mind. Fear of loss. What if I don't approach them? What if I don't say something? I get it. Sometimes you say, well, what if they say no? What if they say yes? What if they say yes? What if they say they do look for other ways of making money? What if they do? More often than none, they're going to say, yeah, I look for other ways of making money. Well, let me get your name and number. Remember now, people are just people. I don't care where they live at, they're just people. And most people look for other ways of making money. So I'm on the places aspect, new place, new opportunity. So I'm going, blowing, I'm going, blowing, I'm going. All right. Then we get to the actual venue the next day. I'm so jacked up. I'm in Oklahoma City. Ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't make this up if I wanted to. I know some of y'all are going to laugh at me. But guess who I was getting ready to prospect? None other than our co-founder, Robert Stefanowski. Yes, he had his back turned to me. I'm getting ready to prospect, and he turns around and I go, whoa, this is one of our co-founders. And what was so crazy about it, I started telling my downline, I said, hey, this is one of the co-founders. He said, that would be Robert. It was funny, but I don't care who it was. I was prospecting everybody that I saw. Now think about this. This is a co-founder. He had his back turned. I'm getting ready to prospect him. Trust me, doesn't matter. Apply pressure. Apply pressure. And this is not just to ACN. It could be anything that you're doing in your life because everything adds up. The little things make the big things possible. It's all in the details. All right. I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere. I see you, Kinko. I see you. All right now. I'm going somewhere with this, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Last night, you guys can work with me. You guys know I've been going a lot of places. I've been going a lot of places. Uh, we're doing contract work a lot of times. I get a chance to go to a lot of places. So yesterday, I got an opportunity to go to a concert. All right. Now it was what we call these old school concerts. It was a New Edition, a couple of other little R&B groups from the past. But I'm thinking, I said, well, it's not gonna be that good. It's a Thursday night. It's not a typical Friday or Saturday night concert. So it's probably not gonna be a whole lot of people in there. It's gonna be a little older crowd. So it's not gonna be probably not gonna be that feeling. Do not underestimate the power of places and people because I totally underestimated the crowd. Why do you say that, Sam? Tell you what happened. First of all, traffic was terrible. And I had started getting on the road about 2 hours early because I wanted to get there early, decompress, find out what my assignment was going to be, things of that nature. And I knew I had to go through checkpoint and this, that, and the other. So long story short, got there a little early. Traffic was terrible, backed up. But I started realizing something, ladies and gentlemen. I said, wait a minute, there's a reason why this traffic is terrible. Think about that now. Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, traffic can be a good thing. Okay. I get to the venue, I sit down, and I start seeing the way I went through the venue, it was checkpoint. So you got the artists, their team, and everybody back there, right? So I started looking and I said, wait a minute, they got 6 buses. And I remember back in the day, they used to say that New Edition was this unique group because everybody had an ego. So they said that they all traveled in different buses, even though they were a group. But now they have a bigger reason to travel in different buses because 40 years later, they've all been in, they've all had separate acclaim to fame. At least they released albums separately, and now they're back as a group. So long story short, go figure, they have a huge entourage. So I'm back there, I'm noticing all this, I'm processing this all in my mind. And I wasn't going to even go, but I was like, well, let me continue to expand myself and apply pressure. You know, we talk about doing new things, going to new places. So I said, well, no, I'm gonna go ahead and go. So I sat there for about an hour. I started looking to see, you know, the layout of the venue, how people move and things of that nature. Now I was thinking, how am I going to incorporate what I do within this venue? Who do I talk to? Who do I not talk to? So usually when I do venues like that, I'm thinking, well, you know, I might be doing some high profile or whatever. But we were short, body wise, we were short, which means that everybody had to step their game up. Everybody had to do a little more than usual. So I'm going from one side of the venue to the other side. I'm on this side, I'm on that side. Well, long story short, I started recognizing as the people were coming in, you know, I'm greeting certain people, whether they were high profile, low profile, doesn't matter. It's always a plus, ladies and gentlemen, when you compliment people. Write that down for some people are taking notes. Complimenting people will be your best tool that you can ever have in this business. Complimenting people. I don't care if they have a nice hairstyle, if the guys have on a nice fedora hat, I don't care if they got on snakeskin shoes. Find something, and I've said this before, to compliment them on. People are just getting back outside, as we say. They're excited. Long story short, ladies and gentlemen, this place was absolutely packed. And I have pictures, I'll show that tonight, don't bring it to the table, but it was absolutely packed. I mean, it wasn't a place you could sit. It was seats on the floor was packed, all around the venue, it was packed. And one of the reasons I think it was packed because people were glad to be outside. It was pretty nice during the day, so people came out. I mean, they came from all parts of Texas. They were packed. It wasn't a seat in the house that was available. They were complete. Matter of fact, they were oversold because of ticket scalpers. And we was trying to find those too, but trust me, it was overpacked. So I'm in the venue and I'm paying attention to all these different people. And I'm going, wow, what a wonderful place to be. You got different people in the building. Everybody's doing everything. I said to myself, I said, exposure, 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 exposure. No matter where you're at, expose yourself. Let somebody know what you do. That's a nugget for somebody. Expose yourself. Remember, I go from OKC all the way down here to Fort Worth, where I'm doing a concert. And the whole time I'm exposing, 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 exposing. All right. Then I said, well, I need to do some more exposure. All right. So I get to the point to where I say, well, I find out what's on the docket for the rest of the week. So tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, and I know I went to the RV convention. And by the way, I picked up an IBO from the RV convention. But tomorrow I'm going to a soccer game in Austin, Texas. A soccer game, foreign soccer. So it's going to be Mexico and all these different people outside the box. Exposure, exposure. Think about it for a second. Find out something in your area that's going on and attach yourself to it. Yeah, it may be new. You might not have known about it. You might not feel out of place, but that's the very place you should be when you feel out of place. Think about it. Remember, they always say if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Well, watch this. If you're the most common person in the room, you may be in the wrong room. Exposure, exposure, exposure. Apply pressure. Apply pressure to yourself. Not just to other people, but to yourself. Okay? I'm going somewhere. Get ready to wrap it up with this. Last but not least, I'm going from places to power. Places to power. Well, why do you say that? I'm going to go back a little bit to this New Edition thing. And some people may not know the group, but for those of you who know the group, can I get a show of hands? The New Edition group? Okay. I see you, Rick Kubiak. Wait a minute. New Edition. All right, brother, you outside the box. Okay, that's a good thing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you know anything about New Edition, you know that New Edition has had a rough road. When they first started as a group, they probably went through 2 or 3 managers. I mean, people were stealing money from them. They were young, so people took advantage of them and their families. And for the greater part of their contract, they signed a ridiculous contract, which means they really never got any money. And if you ever saw the New Edition story, they even said that they were actually doing tours in their younger years. They were going back home, getting dropped off from the tour bus in the projects. Now, you know that hit home for me because I'm a project kid. But I couldn't believe it. I thought these guys were making millions of dollars, but they were literally taking off their clothes, going back on these tour buses and getting dropped back off in the projects in Boston. They had no money. And for years, they had so much of a jacked up contract, they really wasn't making any money. But last night proved the power of being an underdog. And the reason why I said it is because if you guys would have seen how packed the place was, now we're talking 40 some years later. Now everybody knows Bobby Brown has been through ups and downs like nobody's business. He lost Whitney Houston. He lost his daughter, Bobby. I mean, and for the most part, a lot of them were on drugs. But when they hit that stage last night, it was pandemonium. Everybody was there. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, it don't matter. They was there. And most of the people that was there knew the songs. And some of the young people that were there that came with their parents, they knew the songs. The power of staying steadfast and sticking around, ladies and gentlemen, is a powerful thing. Remember, I talked week before last about, sticking around and not quitting and feeling like you want to quit. But it's something to say, ladies and gentlemen, for sticking around. You guys may not know this, you didn't go to OKC, but ACN is getting ready to take a major shift, a major shift. And those who are in this business right now, it's going to be absolutely bananas. Now, I know you guys heard Cowboy talk about this a couple of days ago, but he really just scratched the surface. Because if you were there at the OKC event, I see you, Marie. I was one of the people that was jumping up like I had won the lottery. Because the things that they're rolling out with this medical situation, and they got other stuff to come, you guys would not believe it. That's something to say about your co-founders. Not only are they not ripping anybody off in 29 years, but they're acting like kids in a candy store. They're actually giving us stuff and leveraging the business for our benefit and the benefit of our customers. If you guys would have been at that Oklahoma City event, you would have thought they had lost their ever-loving minds. I mean, they're matching our benefits dollar for dollar, dollar for dollar. We're getting money back and more money by being in ACN. And we're putting our hands on other stuff that other companies cannot touch. Just the power of them being around for 29 years, they're major players. Well, take that back. We're major players. We're major players. And when you guys see this big plan that's getting ready to be rolled out, you guys are going to say they could not have done this. Even IBOs are saying, how could we do this? How could we be this powerful? I'm going to give you guys one word: longevity. Longevity. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking 29 years, not 2, not 9, 29. Now, remind yourselves, all of the 4 co-founders are still here today. We're on stage in OKC, all 4 of them. Mike came back from France and wherever he is. He finally jumped back on stage. Robert jumped back on stage, and they're still here together. Now, it's not ironic I talk about New Edition, I talk about the co-founder. Longevity wins the race, ladies and gentlemen. Longevity. I'm going to leave you with these 2 points, and I'm going to be out of here like a light because I'm getting ready to go outside, expose myself a little bit. Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. In terms of power, I want you guys to think about something. We have to learn how to balance power, large or small, because it becomes practice for greatness in your life. I'm going to repeat that. We have to learn how to balance power, large or small, because it becomes practice for greatness in your life. What do you mean by that, Sam? Well, you know, some people are saying, I'm not really doing a whole lot in the business, and I stop, I start. Consistency. You have to practice consistently being consistent, because that's where your power comes from, ladies and gentlemen. Large or small, it's just practice. Well, what do you mean by that, Sam? Well, what if you had a large organization? I'm talking about 2,000, 3,000 people on your team. Well, if you don't practice, it might fall on you. If you don't practice humbleness, it may just fall on you. It fell on somebody because somebody's no longer in that should have been in. So practice that. Practice humbling yourself. Practice putting yourself in a position of large or small. That way you stay balanced. You stay balanced. Okay, another point to make. How you treat people is important, especially those you think you don't need. Oh, I'm going to repeat that one. How you treat people is important, especially those that you feel you don't need. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, you should treat the janitor as well as you do the boss. Why? They're the same. And you never know where your next stud's gonna come from. You thinking dud, it may be a stud. I'm just saying, that's a thought for somebody. You may think, oh, they're not gonna do nothing. What? How do you know? You never know. You never know. Okay, last but not least, compliments are everything, because everyone wants to be acknowledged at some level. Let me repeat that. Compliments are everything. Why? Because everyone wants to be acknowledged at some level. What do you mean by that, Sam? I saw a lady last night in the concert. Hairstyle looked very nice. Very nice. I just assumed she was a hairstylist. I mean, hairstyle was nice. I struck up a conversation with her. She said, no, she said, I'm not a hairstylist at all. She said, I do my own hair. She said, but I'm in customer service. She said, I'm getting ready to retire. Ding, 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 ding. You know she got my information, right? No question about it. No question about it. I complimented her. I said, I would have sworn you was a hairstylist. I said, your hair's like that? I said, couldn't be. She said, yeah, I'm finna retire. I said, what are you going to do when you retire? She said, travel. I said, my business is all over the place. She said, really? I said, really? Exposure. Now, you know, she walked away, ladies and gentlemen, with a high form of feeling good about herself. What if nobody said that to her the whole day? But she's walking away with my information and knowing, watch this, how I made her feel. Not just what I said, but how I made her feel. That's important. Walked up to a guy. Say, hey man, if nobody told you this today, I said, you are sharp, head to toe. He said, really? I said, man, really? So where'd you get the hat from? Oh man, and those shoes? Whoo! Blew him out the water. So I was giving my information. I got information back, right? Met a young lady, and I'm gonna end with this. Met a young lady, another hairstyle. It's something about women in these hairstyles and how you young ladies put yourselves together, and you know you want people to say something to you because it's power being a female. Hairstyle was nice. I said, I'm not gonna say nothing to her. She walked by me. She came back in. I said, I got to say something to her. It hit me. This is what I said to her. I said, I don't know who does your hair. And the hair was nice. I said, I don't know who does your hair. I say, but that hairstyle, only you can wear it. As soon as I said it, she said, well, thank you. Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. She started dialoguing with me as if we knew each other from grade school. She said, oh, thank you. Watch this. She said, it's my birthday. I said, really? She said, yeah. She said, my girlfriends are taking me out tonight. We're at the venue. She said, they're taking me out. She said, they flew me. Watch this. She said, they flew me from Detroit. I said, really? She said, yeah. I said, how I run it? I said, I do business in Detroit. She said, really? I said, really? Watch this, y'all. I could tell she was professional. So I switched my game up. I switched my game up. I gave her a business card because I saw she was professional. You know, I got tools of the trade. This is going to be my cell phone or my business card. So watch this. As soon as I gave her my business card, ladies and gentlemen, watch this. She looked at it. She walked away for a minute. She stopped. She said, ACN? I said, yes. Watch this. She said, wow. She said, hold on. I do a little something too. So she gave me her business card. Watch this. I saw somebody must have told her about ACN. And she really don't know about ACN. She said, y'all in Concord, right? I said, oh. I said, yeah, we in Concord. She said, yeah, I know about ACN. She said, I tell you what. She said, we need to talk. Let's exchange cards. I'm going to let that sit for a minute. She said, we need to talk. Let's exchange cards. I gave her my card. She gave me her card. She started talking to me. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't even want to tell you what she do right now. It's gonna hit you later. I'm working on something, so I'm gonna get out of that. But my point of reference is she started telling me about ACN because she said, watch this. She does some affiliation in North Carolina and she knows about ACN. She says one of her affiliates is in the area of Concord. Blew my mind. I'm at a concert. This lady only came to the concert because her friends surprised her with a birthday gift. I turned around and said, happy birthday, and gave her my card. I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen, the power of exposing yourself in different places coming out your comfort zone. Now, I finally looked at the card this morning because I was dog tired. I didn't get into like 2 o'clock in the morning. And she does all kinds of stuff, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking about all kinds. I mean, her card is like, she does all that. A female, she does all of that. I mean, the card is just, I'm like, wow, you know, go figure. She was at a concert. But somebody got to be somewhere. I said all that, guys, to say this. I wanted you guys to get a picture of how my week was and how I started to pivot and navigate based on me coming out my comfort zone and me applying pressure to my situation. I want you guys to realize that you guys have the same ability to apply the same pressure, large or small. Now, if you guys don't see me on this call tomorrow, you guys know where I'll be. I'll be in Austin, Texas, at a soccer game, ladies and gentlemen. A little project kid that has never kicked a soccer ball, not much to speak about. I will be at a soccer game and I will be using the tools of the trade, a business card, and my phone. So, for pivoting purposes, ladies and gentlemen, I like to end this call by saying apply pressure.